Jacksonville. The ball on the tee. We're set for football. And off we go from Jacksonville. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Hall to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run with, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run with Burgess. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Hall again on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Thomas. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 25-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Hall ought to give up the middle. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong
and he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Go, go. 11, Agate. Silver.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A big play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Jaguars are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. You look at this Jaguar defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Thomas will look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Now Thomas. And the ball is knocked out. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
11. Lisa 24. Great job. Check. Take right open. Rig alert.
Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas. 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. Brian Thomas, his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Charger drive about to get going. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units. And they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Give to Hall running right. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Hall again on second down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. You look at this Jaguar defense. They enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
To throw is Thomas. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ready,
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Straight ahead is Hall, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw is Thomas. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Darnell Washington with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away from drawing level.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Hey, let's go. Sink right. Hey, kill. Hot.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Play action. It's Lawrence.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's got some. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do. But let's face it, you know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Room to maneuver at the 35. Down the sideline he goes. And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
Where's the contain there? And yes, that's a question because that was just a simple drop-off. But he hits the Jets, and all of a sudden, the seas part in front of him. A huge result there to flip the field and what was a fair.
And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Breece Hall with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers have moved out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now Lawrence. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
Hey, Lion. Silver.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. With now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from evening this one up. Point after, right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm. They're locked in.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Breece Hall on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Lisa 24.
Here's Lawrence. He gets it to Thomas. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Hey. Here we go, son.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. They'll get this down to the 38.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Let's go. Go.
On play action, Lawrence. It's a short one here. Now the ball comes loose and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Sliding out of the pocket. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play. Well, CD, that's the second time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game. So you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
Another try after the first down sack. Thomas. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Thomas. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Thomas. Smith and Jigbo hauling it in on the out route. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 13-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And his kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Jaguars 21.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Pushing his way through. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to...
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Lawrence will throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Hey, kill. Hey, go. 30 left. There we go.
They go play action with Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
The slot man in motion right. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. It's Manning. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 27-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Go, let's go. 11.
Now Lawrence. Being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22.
Gun. Hey, easy. Ralph. Go. Here we go, son.
Now Lawrence to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing on second down, Thomas. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That time they're able to bottle him up, and he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Hey.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 118 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Hey, let's go. Take right open.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43.
11.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to...
On the ready. Red on red. Sink right. 11, Agate. Hot.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Let's go.
2nd and 5.
Kill.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up
Here we go.
2nd and 5.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
And there, even if you've got to take something off that throw so that he slows down to catch it, that's far more preferable than what happened there. A big miss on what should have been a touchdown.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Thomas will come in motion right.
Silver.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 23.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
There we go.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Kill. Hot.
Lawrence. That one complete to Parker. And the Jaguars are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Hey, easy.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Red.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
3rd and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory.
It's now 3rd and goal.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. A touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. With his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game.
And the Jaguars have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old
snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Thomas escaping the pressure right. An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Thomas flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Back to throw. Thomas. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Looking to throw. Thomas. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Hall. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. A handoff for Hall. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here now, 3rd and a yard. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll run again. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll go for it. It's Hall.
Oh, man, that was some call right there. The game in the balance. They run for it on fourth down, and this has been the story all game long. They've been the ones that come up with the big plays when they've needed them. And that last one, that may have won them the football game.
Victory formation, time for the Chargers. They take a knee. And they take a knee. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And this, not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours. Right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Karen said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard.
Tripping off grades, I just be making up different reasons for my nieces. From my way I pick enough to keep it up, but ain't no thing straight, cause ain't no reason for this money to stay. Like what you want, what you want. I got Jesus giving money, what you want. I've been sitting and pitching this for a reason to cry, so I'ma say I love you, but keep a look on my eye, cause I can never really want you less than money or pride. So when I say I really love you, boy, just know it's a lie. Like I ain't mean it, I ain't mean it. I just need another reason for a sequence. Another bag, another season, another description, another feeling. Boy, got a game a lot, but I keep.
Homie got a pump cause he got no. Homie stay trippin' cause I got no funds. Homie got a pump cause he got no. Homie stay trippin' cause I got no funds. Homie got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, can I drop your bag, sass? I've been here from the start. A little snapback, homie, with a plug in his heart. Took these Billy Strum cards and now they rip me apart. Now they run around in circles like them kids in the park. Not afraid of the dark, there ain't no monster inside. I pray to Jesus Christ, homie, they just keep me alive. Why you keep it 53? Cause I've been wrestling with pride. I try to keep it like I'm Texas, got the South on my side. Girl, you know I'm a saint, so why you giving me hell? My uncle back up on the block and now they begging for bail. He always calling me for paper cause he know I'm the trail. Now I'm eating my McDonald's, I was fresh out of jail. Now I made it out of chump, at least I know I'm up, boy, thump. Like my neighbors jumping up a pum, boy, I bump. In that Billy Strong, he ain't know him, he ain't thump. He just grabbed the pump and made it go dumb. Got a pump cause he got no. Homie stay trippin' cause I got no funds. Homie got a pump cause he got no. Homie stay trippin' cause I got no funds. Homie got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun.
I'm an airport baby, I'm too fly to count. Counting the cash, yeah, it's too high to count. I'm dealing with a fake, yeah, they too fake to doubt. Acting like they are what they not for their clout. They just suckin' my blood, they can love what you count. Flowing like water. Three with the smiles, all the ops gonna plow. They all in the sewers, the south and the clouds out. I'ma stay down to the sound, to the sound, to the sound. On the floor to the steps, with the pen to the steps. Got no paper, told him quit the pocket watching.
Versace jeans ripping at the seams, holding on some dead foes. Schizophrenic with the bag. Listen to the money, nigga praying every day. Glad to say I was broke. Tell him battle. Now I got my bands up. 1000 on the bill just to keep the pants up. Only on the real note, I couldn't fake what I've been doing. All my real ones know this nigga riding for his unit. 53, I'm throwing up. They see the G and I keep it tough. Say she feeling little nigga. Try look. Say she love me for my smile, so I'm looking mean as mean. Seen his days squawking, so I'm keeping feathers plucked.
Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump fun.